guys, welcome back to my vlog, Jojo's Jazzy Journeys. Today, we're going to take a look at a day in the life of me. It's going to be so fun. First, I'm going to go up to my room and I'm going
Jojo, there you are.
Oh, hi Mom. I was just heading to my room.
Actually, before you go, I'd like you to go and help your brother. He's outside cleaning up the yard.
But Mom, my vlog.
You can film a vlog about cleaning up the yard.
Ugh, that's so boring.
Well, then clean up and then film your vlog, but I want you to go help your brother.
You're no fun, Mom. You're just trying to make my life boring.
What did you say?
I was just kidding. Well, it looks like today's vlog is actually going to be about yard cleaning, not about sorting glitter for my unicorn feed. Well, folks, this is a plant, and that's a plant. Over there's a dead plant. Oh, look, it's JD to break up the scenery.
Oh, your plants are scratching me. Are you going to help?
Well, I am, JD. I'm watering plants. Except, well, that one, because it's dead already.
Okay. Well, when you're done, you can come and help me rake.
Okay, fine.
This thing is scratchy. Bye. My nose. It hurts.
Oh, wait, I didn't get it on video. Can you do it again for the vlog?
All right. What's so funny?
You are. You're so clumsy. Remind me not to trust you with anything fragile. It wouldn't last more than 5 seconds.
Hey, that's not nice.
I'm just kidding. I mean, it's true. But anyways, I have plants to water. Bye.
Maybe she's right. I'm just a clumsy person that's not good at anything. I'm always tripping or dropping things.
Well, so today, I guess it's a day in the life of Jojo the gardener. Who knew I was so good at watering plants?
Hi, Jojo.
Oh, hi, Annie. Should I start a gardening channel?
What?
Wait, or maybe...
Well, what happened to JD? He seems kind of upset.
Oh, well, that's just probably because he's still moping around because I called him clumsy.
That's not very kind. You should go apologize to him.
I was just joking around with him, Annie. Besides, none of your business. Why do you always have to be so nosy? You're just so...
Jojo.
What?
I think you need to be more careful about what you say.
But I was just kidding, Annie.
But your words can hurt people if you're not careful.
I'm not trying to hurt anyone. Sometimes things just come out, you know?
That doesn't change the fact that your words are powerful.
How big of a deal are they really, though?
Well, I have a story that can show you. Come on, let's go. Once, there was a king.
Did he adopt an orphan boy?
No, it's a different king.
Oh.
This king was very powerful. He had a special army of elves that followed his every command.
I thought you were going to tell a story about my words, not about a little elf army.
I'm getting there.
This is boring, Annie, and I can feel sweat on my nose.
I can't finish the story if you keep interrupting.
Fine, go ahead.
These elves could be a bit mischievous, but the king was able to keep them under control. They always did what the king commanded them to do, and they could do incredible things. They built roads and buildings, planted beautiful gardens, and guarded the kingdom. But the king got tired of constantly watching his elves and giving them directions. He decided that they would be okay by themselves for a while. They couldn't get into that much trouble, could they? Well, the king figured it wouldn't hurt that much to try. So one day, he didn't go out and supervise them or tell them what to do.
Wait, Annie, what happened to all the little elves? I care about them a lot now.
I thought this story was boring.
Well, kind of. A little bit, maybe. But you can't stop there. What happened?
It was chaos. The elves did whatever they wanted. They left a trail of messes and destruction as they went through the kingdom.
The king has to do something, Annie. He can't just let these elves out without thinking. Bad things are happening.
Jojo, those elves are like your words.
Wait. What?
Your words are powerful and can do lots of good, but when you speak without thinking, it's like the king letting those elves out unsupervised. You might not mean it, but bad things can happen, and your words can hurt people.
Oh, I guess I never thought of my words like that. But what happens with the king and his out-of-control elves, Annie? You have to tell me.
Well, eventually, word got back to the king about what was going on. He got angry and had all the elves locked up in the dungeon.
Well, that's better. Now they can't get into trouble.
But now, there was no one to clean up the mess they had created or do any of the jobs they had done before. there was no one to protect and take care of the kingdom. If you're being careless with your words, the solution isn't to not say anything anymore. God wants you to use your words for good. The king realized he needed to let the elves out, but he had to be careful with them. And Jojo, like the king and his elves, you need to keep a careful watch on the things you say. As God's child, he'll help you do and say what's right. But you've just been speaking without thinking, and that can be dangerous.
Yeah, Annie, you're right. I haven't been very careful with my words.
So the king released the elves. But from then on, he didn't let them run around on their own. He was very careful about what he did with them. The end.
Hey, JD, want to hear a joke? Don't worry, it's not about you.
I don't know, sure.
Where did the king keep his armies?
Uh,
And his sleeveys.
You might not have realized it, but your words are pretty powerful.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I usually don't think much about the words I say. I just say them.
Ephesians 4:29 says, "Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers."
And a what?
Edification. It means to build up. So this verse is saying that as a child of God, you shouldn't say things that are corrupt or bad, but the things you say should build up and encourage those around you.
Oh, I guess I haven't been doing that at all. I've just been saying whatever I wanted to. What am I supposed to do?
Well, let's go look at some ways that you should and shouldn't use your words. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. In the Bible, in the book of James, our tongue and the words we say are compared to a destructive fire.
If my words are so powerful, maybe I shouldn't say anything.
Well, once my friend did something I didn't like, but rather than talk to her about it and explain why it hurt me, I decided just not to talk to her. Whenever she was around, I ignored her and didn't say anything to her. But after a little while, I realized by not saying anything, I was only making things worse. I was using my words in a harmful way by not saying something when I should have. I realized that keeping silent wasn't helping either of us. I decided to go talk to my friend and make things right. You shouldn't just say everything that comes to your mind without thinking, but that doesn't mean you should never say anything. Sometimes there are things you should say, like please or thank you, or maybe you could say something kind and encouraging to someone. But we need God's help to control our words. It's not something you can do on your own. James 3:8a says, "But no man can tame the tongue."
Annie, I say things that might hurt some people sometimes.
yeah, I do too. There was one time I went to ask Jojo something, and when I walked into her room, it was really messy.
It wasn't that bad.
Ah,
Okay, it wasn't great either.
I started telling her how much of a disaster her room was, and how it looked like a bomb had gone off in there, and that she was such a messy and disorganized person.
Yeah, I remember that.
A lot of what I said was true. Her room was really messy. But just because something is true doesn't mean it has to be said. Ephesians 4 talks about speaking the truth in love. I wasn't loving my sister when I was criticizing her like that. So I decided to go back and talk to Jojo. Instead of complaining about how messy she was, I offered to help her clean up her room.
What about you, Jojo?
Well, I've been saying lots of things without thinking. There are some times I've hurt people with my words, even if I didn't mean to, or I said I was joking. Hey, that gives me an idea! I've gotta go! Thanks, Annie!
Ah!
I wasn't being very careful with my words earlier, and I said some hurtful things. I need to go back and apologize for what I said. But I wanted to show you guys something. I made this to help me in the future. I call it my kindness spinner. It has different people in my life, like my mom and dad and JD and Annie, and whenever the spinner lands on a person's name, I have to think of something kind to tell them. Now, I'm going to show you how to make this. So, let's get crafting! To make this craft, you'll start out by printing out this template, which you can find at the link in the description box or at inthegapkids.org. First, think of 6 people in your life who you can be kind to, and write their names in the blank spaces on your spinner base. Next, we'll color in the spinner base and the arrow. Next, Next, cut out both pieces of your spinner. To complete this craft, you'll need a metal brad, which is to fasten the pieces of the spinner together so it spins. Start by inserting the brad into the circle on the arrow. Then, insert the center of your base onto the brad. Lastly, fold the prongs of the brad outward to secure the spinner in place. Wow, guys, great job! Now it's time for me to go apologize to my mom and JD and Annie for the things I said earlier. And instead of saying mean words, to say kind and encouraging ones. Gotta go! Let's see. Ooh, it's JD. Well, he may be a little clumsy sometimes, but he really likes to read, and he's pretty smart. I can apologize for what I said earlier and tell him how much I appreciate all the time he takes to learn new things. Hey JD, I have something to tell you!